It's another Monday night on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And in the past few weeks, it's been a while since we've been able to say this, but we're back for another edition of Monday Night Madness. And tonight, the Coast to Coast Racing League is at the Speed Palace for the second half of the season. Port Royal Speedway is the date line for tonight, and we can't be more excited to get things started. So glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala alongside Zach Chapman with you. Zach, as we get set to go for tonight, this is always one of the craziest nights we have because of just how fast the drivers go around this racetrack. What do you think it's going to be like tonight?
Yeah, like you said, one of the many of Pennsylvania is the Port Royal Speedway. I mean, they fly around here. Probably going to be the fastest speeds I see all year, and it's going to be amazing. You know, we're going to see big slide jobs thrown into the middle of the corner, or going into the corners, and going to have to see guys lift out of it tonight and try to cross over. Bad stuff's going to happen at these high speeds.
Oh, it absolutely will be without a question. Qualifying currently underway. Open 358s brought to you by the Glenridge Motorsports Park. And first driver you're watching on the racetrack is the driver of the number 118, Logan Wentz, who has looked impressive throughout this Open 358 modified season. One win for him earlier this year. I believe that came at Fairbury, if I recall correctly. As he sets the bar here, lap number 1 time for Wentz. He did not set a time, I believe. His time was invalid on our end. Jeff Barker was the one to set the bar as the 118 makes his way off at turn number 4. Much better lap for him. And he goes second quick, 1973 on lap number 2. Scott Rayome in the 444 has the quickest time of the 1964. His second lap is off by 100th of a second. Jake Henry just came across the start-finish line. Did he have a better lap? No, off by 2/10, but he's 4th quick at a 1991. Anthony Morano, meanwhile, he is 7th quick, this time at a 1990. Morano off at turn number 4. We'll hopefully see him pop up at a slower lap for him. Let's go to Dan McLaren, the Venom Racing number 88, right off at turn number 4. Currently 13th. His teammate Jason Butterfield just moved up to 7th quick. And McLaren's time is better by 100th, 1994 last lap. And it's Scott Rayome that takes the quickest time with a 19.635. Just about 20 drivers with us here this evening, so everybody will make the show. And again, glad you could join us for this one tonight. We are getting set to go for our first heat race of the evening. Heat race number 1, which is brought to you by our good friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing bodies produced and designed by Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Here is a look at how the field starts. Again, we invert the top 4 prior to taking the green flag in the heat. So James Bond, Sam Bachman in the 007 starts on the pole position. Next to him, it's Butters, Jason Butterfield in car 93. Row 2, Jake Henry in the Murano Racing 171 next to Scott Rayome in the number 4. Row 3, Dan McLaren in the 88 next to the Brew to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out the field, making his debut tonight, is Matt Schaefer in car number 81. Winner on pole position here tonight, Zach, for our Open 358. What are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, with the inverts, it always makes it crazy. You gotta expect a lot of excitement. You got the fastest qualifier in the 4 car, starting in 4th place. So he's gonna want to go. He feels like he should be at the front, and he's got 6 laps to prove it.
As Zach said, 6-lap heat takes the green flag. We're underway. Immediate slide job by Sam Bachman to go to the point. Rayome tried to find a groove around the 93 of Jason Butterfield. How about the exit for the 93? Butterfield to the point. Rayome has to let off the gas to avoid hitting the chrome horn on Butterfield as he leaves Bachman in lane just barely. Number 93 leads the opening circuit, but a lot of drivers on his tail. Bachman trying to go a longer way around as you're on board with him, Zach.
Yeah, and I had said Jake Henry earlier, but I meant Scott Rayome in the 444. My ticker wasn't working right. And he's trying to push James Bond by here. He's really quick, gone from 4th to 2nd here in 2 laps, and he's got plenty of time here to work on Sam for first place in the pole position of our feature.
It's the full throttle teammates working together. Bachman leading, Rayome in 2nd, Butterfield 3rd, Jake Henry currently in the 4th spot. Bachman the quickest driver on the track at a 1972 that last time by. He is flying like that's an Aston Martin out there.
Yeah, really quick in 3 and 4. It looked like their Scott's made up some time in 1 and 2, and maybe thinking about looking low, but not going to do it just yet.
See if that number 4 car makes the move. He was the quickest driver out there with a 1966 that last time by, as the teammates are door panel to door panel into turn 3. We're coming to the white flag this time. Rayome does a slider. Bachman backs out of it. Now Diamond's at Zach.
Yeah, Bachman did the FTM team a real good deed there. That was a pretty aggressive slider from Scott there in the heat, and Sam did the good thing and saved 2 race cars.
That's for sure. Field makes their way through turns number 3 and 4. It is Scott Rayome in the FTM 4 that's on pole position tonight. Race for 2nd. Bachman beats out Butterfield. Jake Henry 4th. Dan McLaren 5th. Matt Schaefer 6th. And Jeff Barker in 7th. So heat race number 1 is done. We're ready to go for heat race number 2, brought to you by the team that just won heat race number 1, and that is Full Throttle Motorsports. Not just your average iRacing team, FTM with members ranging from 18 to 57 years old. From Minnesota to New York, FTM prides itself on clean and competitive racing and hosts very successful 358 and Big Block League events using setups from Gunnar Swanchara and Swan Speed Shop. It's FTM to the front. It's Bob DeGood on pole position, the number 7, and next to him, the man that won in 358s in the Open 358 a couple weeks ago at Lincoln, Canada Connor. That's Connor Ross. Row number 2, you have Bud Molyneux in the 883, next to Gavin Chatham in car 99. Row 3, Kelly Wheeler in the 110, next to him, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Rounding out the field tonight, Scott Zenecker in the 143. Making their way off at turn number 4. Winner starts on the outside of the front row. Next to Scott Rayome, ready for the green flag for heat numero dos. A scattered start as Ross caught the wall just as he was in front of DeGood by about an inch, and he goes all the way down to the 4th position. It's DeGood out in front. Gavin Chatham moves up to 2nd already. He was 2nd quickest of all the drivers in qualifying. And off for turn 4, DeGood leads the opening lap. Here comes Connor Ross with a run. Brandon Dittmer's around. Dittmer caught the wall, and that was all she wrote in that number 83. But it's back going, though, off of turn 2. Chatham's got 2nd, but Ross with a huge run. And then he catches the wall again. Here come Molyneux and Wheeler. Zach nearly 4 wide in turn number 4, and they almost did it again.
Yeah, contact there on the bottom almost made a big one happen. That's a good save from those guys.
Molyneux caught the wall. He backs out of it. You watch the race for 2nd down the back chute between Ross and Chatham. Just what Bob DeGood wants to see in the rear view with that ABR setup.
Yeah, you aren't kidding. Connor looks really fast, but he's having a little trouble getting by Gavin. Right as I say that, he's able to clear him on a slider, but Gavin's fighting back on the inside. Not going to give it up that easy.
Gavin was 2nd at the end of lap number 1. Was it very surprising not to see him have a chance at Bob DeGood for the lead?
Yeah, and not to, put him down or anything, but a lot of that going 4th to 2nd had to do with Connor getting in the wall right away. When you step on the gas on these things, they bite to the right. So he got in the gas a little too hard and got in the fence.
White flag coming out this time by, whoa, Chatham! Wheeling and dealing, and makes a spectacular save.
Yeah, maybe got a little bump from Kelly Wheeler on the exit of 4 there. Maybe had some help, Marty.
Meanwhile, in 3 and 4, Bob DeGood in the number 7 ABR setup shop ride to start on the front row. Connor Ross looking for a run, not going to work as Canada Connor finishes second with the best lap at a 1972. Wheeler third, Chatham fourth, Zeneker fifth, Molyneux sixth, and Dittmer seventh. And so now we move on to heat race number 3, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park, your Sunday night home for the Dirt Car 358 Modifieds, also showcasing Dirt Car Sportsman, Pro Stocks, and new for 2024, the Rush Late Models. 358 Modifieds also back with the series returning again in 2024. Visit GlenridgeMP.com or their Facebook page. Starting lineup on the pole position, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Next to him, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row 2, G.J. Boydell in the 014, next to Logan Wentz in the 118. And in row 3, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. No call from the 397 of Alex Pomelo to grid here tonight. Gotta watch closely here for Anthony Morano, as him and Sam Bachman both could be contending for the points lead at the end of the night with no Trent Verstraeten or Dean Reynolds. Let us know as well if you're watching in chat who you're rooting for. Thanks for joining us here on Sly Job Racing Network. Winner starts inside of row number 2, ready to take the green flag. Oh, Bixler sideways off of 2. Morano with the perfect yaw. Puts that ride out in front. Bixler second. Winston Boydell race on for third spot. Bixler looking for bite off at turn 4. Can he get it? He cannot. Morano hangs on to the lead. Bixler, Wentz, Boydell, Spangler, all single fire to turn number 1. Now the 118 looks for a run for second, Zach.
Yeah, Bixler's not giving up on the bottom, but it just seems like Connor showed everybody the fast line there. It is the top right now, I'd imagine, depending on what gear you have, as we see Patrick Spangler trying to make it work in the back, but gets in the wall coming off the 4.
It's G.J. Boydell with that final transfer spot for right now in the 4th position. Talked with him earlier this past weekend, and he was actually requesting a funny video to be played every race before the start of the green flag. I think it was something about dirt tracks and money. Why do we spend all this money? Because we love dirt track racing or something like that. It makes sense, though.
Yeah, if you want to make $1 million in racing, you know how to, Marty, right?
Yes. Bixler looking for the lead off of 4. Had the quickest lap last time by a 1994. Side by side, it's Morano with the line. Wentz on both of their tails here. It's a fun race for the point here as we've got 2 to go in this heat. Wentz the quickest driver on track in 1981. And the field's making their way off of turn 4. We've got 1 to go, Zach, for Anthony Morano. Oh, Bixler! Hooked by Logan Wentz. Through goes Boydell. Both of them took each other out. Off of turn number 4. Anthony Morano with the win. Boydell says thank you very much, and same with Patrick Spangler. What in the world just happened there, Zach Chapman?
Yeah, not too sure. Going back to take a look right now. Not sure if maybe Steven came up on Kelly, wasn't sure he was there. Because Kelly couldn't go Logan couldn't go any higher, but tough deal. Maybe Steven didn't know he was there, but you're going to race hard on the last lap.
Gonna pull up a replay here, get you an idea of what it looked like off of turn 2. Actually, we'll try it once again from an aerial shot. I think you may see right here, yeah, just that slight contact. That's a tough break. All right, while we are at it, we've got warm-ups underway. Under the lights at the port. When we come back, it's feature time. So stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-up's currently wrapping up here at Port Royal Speedway. It's Connor Ross, your quickest driver, as things stand at a 19.7. Nice car count here for tonight at the port here, Zach, with a 20-driver car count for open 358s.
Yeah, definitely a good car count. We're definitely missing the heart of this league, but I'm sure he's having a good time at Volusia. Hopefully Dean's watching or is going to rewatch this. We're thinking about him tonight, and hopefully he has a good week down there.
Yeah, I hope you bring us some warm weather back.
No kidding.
Yeah, so. All right, feature time set to go here at Port Royal. Let's meet the field. The RSN Trackside starting lineup. RSN Trackside premieres Wednesday, the season premiere Wednesday on Rock Sports Network. Hey, Scott Rayholm's on the pole position, the 444. Next to him, it's Bob DeGood in the 7. Row 2, Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to James Bond, Zan Bachman in the 007. Row 3, Canada Connor in the 35. Next to G.J. Boydell in the 014. Row 4, it's Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. And Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Rounding out the top 5, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. And Jake Henry in the 171. Row number 6, Gavin Chatham in the 99. And Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 7, Dan McLaren in the 88, and Scott Zanecker in the 143. Row 8, the mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Matt Schaefer in the 81. Rounding out the grid this evening, Bud Molyneux in the 883, Alex Pablo in the 397, Jeff Barker in the 513, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. No calls for Bixler nor Pomelo to the grid this evening. Zach, let's get your pick. Who do you think is going to take this one tonight?
Man, it's really hard to pass here, but Connor just gets better and better as the track moves up. I think Connor Ross might surprise some people tonight and go from 5th to 1st.
You left it wide open for me. Give me Anthony Morano with the win and a 1-2-3 full throttle motorsports finish.
Oh, wow. That's a big prediction, Marty.
Alrighty, we're just about set to go for the Lucy Olson start here at Port Royal Speedway. Again, glad you all could join us for Monday Night Madness as we've reached the halfway point in the winter season. Pace car off in turn number 4. Scott Rayholm, Bob DeGood set to bring us the green flag. It's time to get him going at the Speed Palace of Port Royal. Rayholm with the lead off of turn number 2, followed by Morano in 2nd. Bob DeGood down in 3rd. Connor Ross making a charge against the 007 for the 4th position. Off of turn number 4, lap 1, led by Rayholm. Best race on track for that bottom step of the podium as Bachman dancing with the devil in turns number 1 and 2. Looking for that banking to propel him to 3rd, Zach Chapman.
Yeah, I just think, the higher you go, the faster you can be, but at the same time, 30 laps around this track is a long time. You got to save a little bit of that rear tire. I think that's why you're seeing Scott not go up there and wind it up like everybody else. He's got enough speed to just play it safe right now.
Anthony Morano with the smooth diamond in turn number 2 to help him pull up side by side with his teammate for the top spot. That may get him the fastest lap of the race. We'll just have to see. And now here comes Bachman to make it a 3-man FTM shootout for the race lead. This could be a nightmare if you're Dean Reynolds sometimes.
Yeah, Anthony Morano is really making the bottom work, but I think a lot of that is because Scott's staying in the middle. He's not really going all the way up top to wind it up. So not getting a real full run into the corner, but you're going to see he's going to float it up here in front of his teammate as he slides him back.
It was too close to call, but I believe it was Rayholm that edged out Morano at the line. 4 cars all under a blanket for the race lead here at Port Royal. Now, do you just play it safe from here on out, or what do you do here?
You saw the way they raced each other in the heat races, right? Remember, Marty? Nobody's playing it safe. Each of them want to win, and I think you're going to see them be smart and do things to back out of it if a teammate throws a slider. But every single one of these top three want to win, and they know they got a guy coming up there in fourth place that's real hungry for a win.
Nice run off for 4 by Morano. He's got a nice run off in turn number 2. Can he take the lead on Rayom entering turn number 3? He may, but Rayom, does he throw a slider? No, I think he lets Morano have the lead off the corner. Or maybe not, we'll have to see. It's a drag race to the line. New leader, it's Anthony Morano. So you watch the top 4 on top the Chapman Racing drone. Both lines working really well. But could it be like the high side could be given out here later on tonight, or will it be the low line?
I think it's going to be the lower line, to tell you the truth, because you're just going to run out. You see, in going into the entry of turn 3 coming up here, he's got to go so low to avoid the tack or the slick, and I don't know. It's just he's cutting so much speed being down there, where those guys up top really get the drive in. You see all the speed they're making up in the middle of the corners. He's going to lose another spot. I think he can't move up.
Oh, now Rayom trying to slide job in front of his teammate. Nearly similar to the way they did it in the heat races. And now because of this 4-car race, look who's closing in. Logan Wentz in the 118, right up there in the 5th position. It's a fun one so far. We're 10 laps through the open 358. Let's get to the best 5-lap average as things stand here. And right now, the better car seems to be Wentz in the number 118, but the fastest lap was Bachman. And we have our first caution flag of the night. Jason Butterfield is spun just past the start-finish line. Here in his well-matched Schaefer. Oh, boy. You picked a fine time to leave me loose, wheel. Hearing Jeff Barker was also involved. I hope we don't get copyrighted for that. Jason Butterfield has towed it on to pit road. Unfortunate circumstances for the number 93. And let's pull up a replay and show you what happened to Butters. That's Schaefer behind him. Butterfield just caught the wall, and around he went in front of Schaefer. And Schaefer's right front wheel just went away there. And man, that went flying in, ricocheted off the wall. Let's take a ride on board with Schaefer in that number 81. There you see it right there. You see that right front tire on the onboard there, Zach? It actually reconnected for a second, then, yeah, all the screws were gone.
Yeah, almost reminded you of those, like, you know, F1, those tire straps they have. It worked for a second, then it didn't.
Yeah. Saw Jeff Barker have to use the brakes, not just once, but twice. Also try and avoid a flying tire in the air. So we've got a long run in the books here at the moment. 10 down, 20 to go, and it's Anthony Morano, your race leader.
Yeah, you had brought it up there, though, right before the cautions. Bachman, he did that last lap, ran the fastest lap of the race, and maybe didn't have the fastest average, but he had a car in front of him, so when he was able to have a little space and get on it, he was able to. I'm anxious to see here how much Morano helps his teammates on the restart, if he's going to count it down, because if he does, that could be beneficial to Bachman on the outside having his preferred line.
We're going to watch this restart from the Chapman Racing drone. And again, it's Morano, Bachman, your front row. Rayom rounding out the 1, 2, 3 for FTM as we're back underway. Morano actually left Rayom an opening underneath. This could get interesting.
Hunter Ross just got in the wall too. Logan Wentz was able to clear him, so now Logan Wentz is able to go hunting on these three.
Patrick Spengler also a part of the party too. Morano hangs on to the lead for right now. Let's see what James Bond can do following his teammate. Does he have second off the corner? He does, but now needs to secure it at the start-finish line. And Logan Wentz now looking to break into the podium in the RU18.
I mean, you got to give it to Scott. He has not given up on that bottom, but
big wreck for Logan Wentz. Wow, what a save, but that's got to be heavy suspension damage. Yellow flag is out. And I think it may be for Zenacker in the 143. And actually, we have something else. Jeff Barker in the 513 and maybe Matt Schaefer. But I don't know, though, how Logan Wentz was able to save that puppy.
Yeah, and it looks like it's still driving straight, Marty. Like, I need to contact his chassis builder because when I get in the wall like that, I don't get to continue to drive.
Bicknell makes some very durable products, that's for sure. Now, let's show you the cause of the caution. Watch Barker in the 513 making their way into turn 1. Everyone check it up. Oh, Barker got in the back of Chatham, and a big hit from Schaefer in the aftermath. Let's go on board with Schaefer again. That right front is just like a klutz out there today.
For everyone but Logan Wentz.
So Logan has decided, even with the contact he took, has decided to keep it on the racetrack. I'm looking at that right side really closely. I actually do not see any damage one bit on the outside. I don't know on the inside, suspension and shock-wise. If he can wheel that thing home to a podium, that would be one of the best saves of the year.
Yeah, very, very unbelievable, and at the same time, very, very, very lucky that there was an accident behind him so he could regain his position and go back at him here. And it was actually, you know, right after the start-finish line when he got in the wall, and he was able to clear Scott for third. So I'll have to see if he's able to go up and do anything with the front, too, as they've been very fast tonight.
So we're ready to come back to the green flag. Steve King Foundation pace car on pit road. Morano and Bachman, row 1. Wentz and Rayome, row 2. Ross and Spangler, row 3. McLaren, Molyneux, row 4. Boydell and Henry round out the top 10. How about Bud Molyneux from 17th to 8th as we come back to the green flag? Morano holds serve at a turn 1. Does he slide up in front of the 007? 3 wide for second. And Wentz is going for that run of a spot. Contact between Rayome and Bachman. Stacks the field up. Still 3 wide at turn 3. Ross catches the Jersey barrier. He's run out of steering. Rayome in the wall hard and upside down. You can see that right front towed in on the 35. But a heartbreak for sure there for Scott Rayome with that 444 there, Zach.
Yeah, definitely bad luck there going into turn 3, but he's going to be kicking himself for putting himself in that position if, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. If he didn't make contact with his teammate coming out of 2, that probably doesn't happen, and I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself for that.
Probably, and I don't know how heavy the left front damage is for Connor Ross. He's actually brought it into pit road. You know, now looking at their onboard, Scott, I think with or without having that contact with his teammate, I think he probably still would have been hit in that same situation. Because he still had, like, a nearly similar track position, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough because if he doesn't contact his teammate, Connor Ross probably doesn't get in front of him as far, and that's just, I don't know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, who knows, but he's still going to be kicking himself for that. Would have liked to have gotten a better restart and just been out ahead of those guys.
So a single file restart coming up here. Again, we did not complete a green flag lap there, so it is a single file restart as we are 14 laps complete in this one. We'll be halfway when we take the green. Morano, Bachman, Wentz, Spangler, McLaren, Molyneux, Henry, Boydell, Chatham, and Dittmer. That's your top 10. Back to the green flag we go.
Good restart for the front two. Really able to break away for Logan Wentz. Samuel Bachman's really going to like that because he can get aggressive maybe one of these turns and try to throw a slider and not have to worry about getting past.
Everyone on the high side. First guy underneath is Dan McLaren. He's got a challenge from Bud Molyneux for that 5th position. Caution, Scott Zenecker in the 143 around the start finish line. And Kelly Wheeler and Connor Ross also involved. So it's gotten a little bit worse for wear for Daddy's money.
Yeah. Like Connor got in the wall there. Nobody had anywhere to go. Maybe Connor got a little help. We'll see here.
There's contact off of Wheeler first. Oh, Zenecker got the back of Bob DeGood, who made a great save. Oh, Ross caught the wall, and then just a heavy jack-up. We're right on board with Zenecker. He's the one that put Connor Ross up in the air. Let's go to Kelly Wheeler. Everybody just hanging on for dear life. Now Connor Ross. Now, if that was pre-damage model, guarantee you, Zach, that would have been a flip for Daddy's money.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, he possibly would be a flip in real life, too. It's tough. You know, he's trying to be reactionary. He sees the contacts in front of him and just kicks a little bit to the right, but the wall's there. It's so easy with the way the wheels stick out a little, or, you know, the tires stick out a little bit from the body to climb that wall and go over.
Absolutely. So this will actually stay a single file restart as we're ready to come back to the green flag. Morano's able to hold serve in that number 32. Bachman stuck in second, Wentz third, Spangler fourth, McLaren fifth. First guy underneath again is Molyneux in that 883.
Ooh, leader in the wall.
That's Morano. Here comes Bachman looking for a chance at this race lead. So we're coming to 11 to go. Bachman, slide job, Bond. James Bond to the leader. Does he take it? No, Morano hangs on for right now. Phenomenal racing going on between both drivers right now, Zach.
Yeah, Morano got in the wall just a little bit in 1 and 2 and was able to let Bachman get low going on the backstretch. Oh, third.
Oh,
Slider, Patrick.
Caution is out. And you saw the stop driver in the background. It was Logan Wentz.
Yeah, it looked like Patrick and Logan got together.
That's a tough break. Let's gather up a replay and show you what happened. Yep, just caught the tire. And once that... It's like the contact just completely destroyed the engine. I don't know. Right on board with Logan here. Yeah, that was weird.
And I know this isn't the favorable opinion all the time, Marty, but that's a case of, you know, if you watch racing long enough, if a guy is that far on you with a slider, you gotta lift out and try to go under him. You gotta be in self-preservation mode there because, you know, the guy isn't lifting. And I mean, he's virtually cleared you. And I mean, we see it all the time, you know, slide or die. And that's kind of the new way of racing. When you see a guy that far on the slider, you gotta lift out. As long as they're not putting you in the wall on corner exit, you know, you gotta lift out and try to cross back under him.
So Patrick Spang, yeah, for sure. So Patrick Spangler now actually have an onboard with them today. We're trying to bring back these onboard cameras here. So shout out to Patrick for providing one here tonight. Trying to get as many drivers as possible to set that up. But we're ready to come back to the green flag. Want to look at as well the 5-lap average as we get set to go once again. Sam Bachman looks to be the best car on a 5-lap average. We'll see what happens as we're ready to come back to the green flag. 10 laps remaining at Port Royal. Bad jump from Spangler in the 99 and the 39. Tries to gather it back up. It's Dan McLaren on the challenge. Molyneux looking for a run. Right now, your hard charger of 12 spots. Contact with McLaren. Here comes as well Jake Henry in the 171, who's been quiet all race long. And now Gavin Chatham around the outside looking to go 2 for 1 off for 2, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing battles all throughout, but now meanwhile we have a slider for the lead, Marty.
Oh, Bachman! Out of trouble behind them. Caution it down. I don't think they came to the line. We'll have to wait for scoring, but the yellow for G.J. Boydell. And I think we're hearing the leader's Anthony Morano. We will see. Yeah, with the way Bachman is looking back. Or, wait, maybe not. Nope, they're saying the 007. Who was the last to leave the line, Zach? You've got the scoring better than me.
I'm seeing Morano.
All right. So let's ride on board with G.J. Boydell and show you what caused the yellow flag. There you saw the slider from Bachman. Great move for the slide, and there was the contact. Molyneux and Henry touched, and nowhere to go was Boydell. Right there is the contact, and Sabre almost will gather a piece of it too, and same with to good.
You just got to wonder, Marty, how long can Morano hold off James Bond? He just slider after slider. This is some great racing up front.
Phenomenal racing, without question. You saw there, Morano edged out Bachman. That is how Morano maintained the lead. What is it going to take for Morano to take the checkered flag? Would be his, for both Morano and Bachman, would be win 1 of the season in Open 358. And same with Patrick Spangler and Dan McLaren too. If they could be a possible spoiler. Maybe even Bud Molyneux. Eight to go to determine the winner in this one. Don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have our first sprint car race of the night with our B Division Rebels at Port Royal. And sprint cars at Port Royal never disappoint one bit. Here we go. Nice job from Morano to hold serve. What do you do here if you're Bachman? We'll see. Follows the 32 off the corner. right there on that Lexan spoiler. Tucks it back for now. Patrick Spangler, though, makes it a three-man horse race. And a bad exit compared to the 007 and the 32. 7 to go. Net code there for just a moment. Morano slides. Here comes Bachman, Zach Chapman.
Yeah,
Oh!
Bachman is still in the middle of the corner, just able to diamond off and get those big runs. Gonna have a battle of the line here.
Morano edges out James Bond. 6 laps to go. Morano with another slider of his own. Bachman counters. Spangler, I think, made some contact with him. That could help out the 32. We'll see.
Yeah, it seems like the slider line is a lot better in 1 and 2. A little more grip down there on the entry of turn 1.
Oh, Bachman caught the wall. Bachman caught the wall. Spangler with a run underneath.
And Bachman's going to go down there and pinch him using his mirror a little bit to try to fend him off. It's a smart defensive move there by Samuel as he tries to go back at Morano here.
Back on board with Patrick Spangler in that third position, trying to chase down the FTM top 2. We've got 5 laps remaining. Here comes Morano once again. That's Bachman once again. He looked low, had to tuck it back though. 3 laps to go, and it's FTM teammates that are duking it out for the win. You see Bachman had to back out there. He looked to be much better than Morano last time by there, Zach.
Yeah, he's really fast in the middle of the corner. He seems like he carries so much more speed on entry, and they're a little more even on exit, but Bachman has to kill all his momentum in the middle of the corner to not run over his teammate here.
And there you see Morano goes for the slider to try and shut the door on Bachman in case he looked for it. Bachman's trying to go for a slider. I think if you're Morano, keep going low every lap, but no, Morano goes high. Here they come off of 4.
I think you're going to see him go back low here in 1 and 2. He saw it really work out.
There's the shutter from Morano. If you're Bachman, you got to counter this. You got to counter this. No, he doesn't. Down the back chute, final time. Bachman looks low, tries to fake out Morano into turn 3. They keep it on the outside. Off for 4, Anthony Morano to the checkered flag. First win of the season comes at the port.
Yeah, good masterclass on defensive driving there by Anthony. Just put his car where Samuel really wanted it to be. You don't always need to be the fastest to win the race, Marty.
Don't always have to be the fastest is right. Biggest mover of the race, Bud Molyneux up 10 from 17th to 7th. If he lost one more spot, it would have gone to Brandon Dittmer, who rounded out the top 10. So your top 3 will come to the stripe. Morano's going to take this one to victory lane. Get that photo.
Yeah, some of the tracks spoil us with the victory lane. We don't, we get so excited to win, we kind of forget it's there.
You see the results. Morano the winner. Bachman second. Spangler third. McLaren fourth. Henry a great 5th place finish for him. Chatham 6th. Molyneux 7th. Rayome 8th. Wheeler 9th. Dittmer rounds out the top 10. A look at 11 through 20 on your screen. Nope, that was the wrong button. That should pop up. There we go. There you see how the rest of the field looks here tonight. 16 drivers finishing on the lead lap here this evening. Well, I think we're set to go with interviews, so we'll begin with our 3rd place finisher in Patrick Spangler. Patrick, a nice run for you, man. Were you hoping that the teammates were going to take each other out? Was that the strategy in those final few laps? Patrick, you got a copy?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you now.
All right. Yeah, they were running pretty clean up there, throwing sliders and trying to pull underneath them. So I didn't think they were going to take each other out. I was hoping they would, but I don't think they were going to.
How was this race car from your perspective tonight?
The car was good. I didn't want to take 3rd like that. I mean, he got into the wall coming out of 2, and it's Talladega here. It's just right around the wall, so you have to take advantage when you can through a slider. And I have to go back and watch replay, see what happened. But yeah, I didn't mean to hit him there. Didn't want to. But yeah, just who can stay out of the wall the most and just keep it as straight as possible and get the runs off the top.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Just you for the awesome broadcast and Chapman up there helping you today. Roger on the league. Chapman Racing with the sponsor there. Dude XM Designs for the wrap. Triangles Racing. And hopefully talk to you again here in the Renegades.
Absolutely. We'll see. Patrick Spangler finishes third. Great job, man. Best of luck in a few hours.
Thanks.
All right, that's Patrick Spangler, our third place finisher. Let's go to our second place finisher, that being Sam Bachman this evening. And we will pull him into the room there. Sam, were you trying to figure out a slide job there in those final few laps?
Yeah, I was. I knew from the get-go, I mean, it was going to be high side or whatever, and I knew Anthony was going to get up there as soon as he could, and every time he did, and every time he kept screwing up a little bit on 1 and 2, and I could get that little run on him on the bottom, give him the slider in 3 and 4, but he just get me right back in 1 and 2 and keep the lead. But it was, I mean, he was hitting his points every time. It was a good race for him and good third for Patrick.
What do you take away from this performance Full Throttle Motorsports had tonight? Obviously, you guys finishing 1-2, and hey, if it wasn't for Rayom's accident he had earlier tonight, we could have been seeing a sweep of the podium.
Yeah, that was the plan. We were trying to get 1, 2, 3, but unluckily Scotty got taken out. But he did end up working his way all the way back up to 8th, so that was good to see. And we were just hoping we could get the 1, 2, 3, but obviously couldn't.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Obviously, all the guys at FTM, Swan Speed Shop, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Extra Insulation, and you guys for putting on all these shows.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job, and hopefully we see you in the sprint cars later tonight. So that's Sam Bachman, our second place finisher. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner and Anthony Morano. Anthony, your first win of the season. You come close a bunch of times this year, but now you finally got it done. It was not easy, though.
No, definitely not easy. Sam made me work for that one pretty good. I mean, that's what's best part. I mean, me and Sam, we were in a race last night, and we side by side for the lead each lap, and it was separation was .024 or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was way too close before that caution came out when you two were side by side at the line. Where did you think Bachman was better than you? I do want to ask you that, and then where did you think you were better than him?
He was definitely killing me in 1 and 2. I think 3 and 4 was a little bit better, but definitely he was able to run me down in 1 and 2 no matter what I did.
How about this team effort as a whole? I asked Bachman about it just moments ago. Obviously a 1-2 finish. But if it weren't for the situation Rayom got into, we likely would have seen a 1-2-3 finish for FTM.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. You know, that's what we all look forward to every week, just trying to, be consistent and get our cars up to the front. And so far this year, we've all done pretty good at that. I know last year I had a ton of wins. This year, so actually my first one other than the Speed Weeks race. So hopefully Sam can get his soon. I mean, Scotty's got a couple now, so we're definitely getting the teams together, and open setups definitely something we're really good at. So hopefully we can get that done soon.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I thank my wife Sherry, the team, Full Throttle Motorsports, DJ Sim Shop, Dino over at Super Dirt Car, Logan, Hi Mom Lens, Marty, you for doing the broadcast, MDI TV, and Roger and everyone at Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Hopefully we see you in a little bit, man. Great job and congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
Anthony Morano, your winner in a Victory Lane this evening. And with that, we will step aside, take our first break of the night. When we come back, it is 360 Sprint Car Rebels Edition. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to Port Royal Speedway as we are getting set to go here. Again, moments away from Rebels, our first sprint car race of the night here at the port. Marty Sakala with you alongside Zach Chapman. And Zach will be back in just a couple of moments as we get set. Again, congratulations to Anthony Morano on getting the job done here this evening. Well, we're just finalizing our graphics here before we get set to go. And right now, a car count of just about 18 drivers have shown up here at Port Royal this evening. And let's give you some of the drivers to watch out for here very closely. And we'll pull up the point standings coming on in. And Jack Hitt in a tight race with Brad Waite at the moment. Jack not on track as we speak, but there you see Brad's number 814 as he is getting set to go here for tonight. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties here with our graphics at the moment. We're going to work to get these fixed here as soon as possible. All right, I don't know if that is working or not. But right now we've got qualifying underway. And first driver we'll put a focus on here is the driver, the number 217. That's Gentleman Jacket. And again, as we mentioned, your points leader coming on in. Jack hit third quick on lap number 1. Gavin Chatham now takes it to the top at a 15.18. Quickest driver is Chatham. Steven Stewart now moves up to second, 15.23. So all the lap times are coming in. Gary Offut, 13th quick at a 16.43. And I think we just saw somebody else move up to fourth quick. I believe that was Brad Waite. Other drivers making laps currently in qualifying. Here's the number 35 of Connor Ross. So Connor Ross goes 9th quick, qualifying complete, and it's Gavin Chatham, your pole sitter, your quickest driver this evening. Zach, you get back? You got a copy? All right, I think we're still having some technical difficulties with Zach, but getting ready to go racing here, and with it being said, let's meet the field here as we're ready to take the green flag, and we will give you your starting lineup here. Don't have the starting lineup graphics set up, so we're going to tell it to you by hand. On pole position is Joe Backus in car number 46, and next to him it's Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkeys in the 83. Row 2, Dan McLaren in the 88 and Gavin Chatham in the 99. And in row number 3, Steve Maurer in the 888 and Gary Offut in car 94. Go one more lap here until the green flag. Again, inverting the top 4 prior to taking the green flag here this evening.
Just in time, Marty.
Awesome. I'm going to let you take the commentary here in this one. I am having some technical difficulties with the graphics, and I want to get these fixed up here. So, with the call for heat race number 1, give it up for Shaggy Zach Chapman, ladies and gentlemen.
And with that, pace car is going to be pulling off, or has pulled off. The cars are rolling out of turn 4 here as Jesse Backus is going to lead us to the start. Or Joe Backus, sorry. I went to school with a kid named Jesse Backus. Good start there for Joe. Have to see if he's able to get up in front of Brandon here. Meanwhile, Dan McLaren going to be looking for the lead, going from 3rd to 1st in one lap. going to clear him out of 4. He's going to be your leader there at the line. Meanwhile, Gavin Chapman, too, looking to go from 4th to 2nd here. Not able to clear. Brandon's going to have to fall back in line. Dan McLaren looking real good on the bottom, able to pull away from the field ever so slightly. But Brandon Dittmer is really trying to get that high side to work, getting as close to the wall as he can there in the middle of 1 and 2. Gets real close to the wall on 3 and 4 as he actually bumps it a little bit on corner entry. Able to straighten it out though, not lose a lot of time to Dan, but Gavin Chatham is all over him here for 2nd place. Gavin Chatham trying to make the bottom work, just not able to carry the speed out of the corner that Brandon Dittmer's able to carry as we're across the line, 2 to go. Dan McLaren all by himself out front. The battle on the track is for 2nd between Gavin Chatham and Brandon Dittmer here. So we're getting a white flag. Gavin really sent it in, able to pull up beside Brandon, but Brandon gets a big run out of 2. Last time by here out of 3 and 4. Dan McLaren coming to the line, gonna win your heat race, and Brandon Dittmer is gonna be able to hold off 2nd. Gavin Chatham 3rd. Joe Backus 4th, and Gary Offit 5th.
We've got the difficulties fixed here. I thought for a moment that Dittmer was done. When he hit the wall off at turn number 4, I thought he was done. We now move to heat race number 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. Greg Parmalee starts on the pole position, and next to him, it's Gentleman Jacket, your points leader in the 217. Row number 2, Brad Waite in the 814, next to Steven Stewart in the 47, and row 3, a pair of Canadians and a pair of Salty Dogs. The Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and JR John Rayner in the 302. Watch out for this heat closely. This is a key one because you've got Hit 2nd, Waite 3rd. They are battling for the championship as things stand.
Yeah, and arguably, you know, you want to start 2nd because at the start of our features we go on the green, not on the leader. So a lot of people want that outside groove there in the features, the preferred line. So this is a big race here in heat number 2.
Green flag is out. We're underway. Parmalee with the jump on Waite. However, though, Waite pulls up to the right rear sneaker to go side by side into turn 3. He'll opened up a great gap on both Hit and Stewart. Great diamond from Brad Waite to lead the opening lap on Greg Parmalee. Hit back in 3rd, Stewart now in 4th. The gentleman underneath on the 4 off at turn 2 is 2nd his. Yes, it is. Now here comes Stewart. Thinking about what lane to go to, switches up top. So it's Waite, Hit, Parmalee, and Stewart. That's your top 4 as things stand. And Waite trying to pull away from Hit at the moment, Zach.
Yeah, you know, almost the same exact thing as we saw in Heat 1. It seemed like those first 2 laps you were able to get some passing in, and then once they singled out and everybody was up to speed, they could kind of settle down and race, and that's kind of what we see at the Speed Palace. But we are seeing a move for 3rd here.
Steven Stewart rocking it downstairs up to that 3rd position. And now you see that number 47 start to pull away. 2 to go in heat race number 2. Waite with a big lead, just about a 2nd on Jack Hit. That race for 3rd, though, still not done yet. Parmalee trying to fight back.
Yeah, no, I always say it's easier to, you know, be the car following than it is to be the leading car. He's able to see where Steven's been faster than him, and he's been able to adjust a little bit, kind of keep the gap the same.
Final lap is underway, and coming off at turn number 4, the Inferno 814. Brad Waite to the checkers, wins heat 2. Hit 2nd, Stewart 3rd, Parmalee 4th, Craig 5th, and Rayner 6th. Believe this is our final heat race here, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park. And here's the starting lineup. On the pole, G.J. Boydell with the 014. Next to Canada Connor Ross in the number 35. Talan Ulibarri in the 19 inside row 2. Next to Jack Clevenger in the 78. Rounding out the field in row number 3, the Mayor Steve Bixton in the 75. And he told me he wasn't showing up tonight, but he's here. Isaac Salas, slide job of the 5, starting from 6th. And G.J. Boydell actually going to pull to the back of the field, so that puts Ulibarri on pole next to Connor Ross. And Connor probably had the most epic fail, by the way. And I told him about the onboard cameras that we're doing tonight. Here's what he does instead, and I'm going to pull this up here on iRacing.
Screen sharing, isn't he?
Is it? Yeah, he turned it off, but yes, he was sharing his screen.
It was quite the conversation after you left. Goldner was trying to describe to him how to do it, and I bailed mid-conversation, and I guess it wasn't a success, Marty. Those Canadians, you know, they know their maple syrup, and they know their sprint car racing.
And they know their hockey.
Yep, yeah, that too. You're right.
You can't forget that. They know their hockey. Let's see if this actually does pop up for the heck of it. Does it show? I don't think it does. Probably because he's sharing his screen. All right, ready for the green flag. Winner starts inside of row number 2. Ulibarri and Ross bring us to the green flag. Ross gets away with the lead off in turn number 2, but Ulibarri stays side by side with the 35. Underneath for the tough spot. I don't know what that says on the bottom of the roof, but I would assume that is nickname. But what a crisscross from Connor Ross as he leads lap number 1 in the 35.
Yeah, Connor's always quick. He's just got to work on his consistency a little bit, as we saw in the last race. He got himself in the inside wall. If he can just, the races that he puts it together, he's always towards the front.
I think, what does that say? Deceit or proceed? I don't know. I'll have to look. Clevenger, though, with a run for second. Makes that look easy. Now tries to chase down the 35 of Connor Ross. And let me tell you something. The Sim Racing Concept program has improved lately. I mean, yes, we've seen Keith Jackson be the dominant driver in past seasons, if not past years, in the Coast to Coast Racing League. But Donovan Ross and Jack Clevenger both have stepped up lately. You look at Ross a couple weeks ago, scored that surprise win at Lincoln in the Renegades.
Yeah, Devo's always a guy who, I mean, you know, not exactly like Connor, but one of those guys that he is always, it seems like, in the top 5, but just ends up getting a right rear in the wall, taking himself out of it, or getting, you know, just bad luck by guys racing him too hard. Or Devo's really quick, and Jack Clevenger's learned a lot from him. You can tell it's a good team.
Checkered flag is out. Connor Ross beats out Jack Clevenger despite Clevenger's fastest lap of the 15:54. Ulibarri 3rd, Boydell 4th, Bixler 5th, and Salas 6th. Warm-up's underway. We're going to step aside and take a break. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Inside the final minute of warm-ups, Jack Clevenger currently your quickest driver at 16:03. Hey, I want to mention something too. I mentioned earlier in my show, RS and Trackside, back on Wednesday on Rock Sports Network, our 5th season premiere. And we shared it earlier today on the Facebook page. We do have a guest set on it, and that is NASCAR and NBC writer Dustin Long will be joining us. We're looking forward to having him join us with the season premiere and preview the 2024 Cup Series season. Good to have NASCAR back, though. That's for sure, Zach. Just had the Clash wrapped up, and the Daytona 500 under 2 weeks away, 13 days away from it.
All right, gun to your head, Marty. Who's the NASCAR champion?
Christopher Bell this year. I think this is C-Bell's year. Look, I'm sorry, William Byron. I love Byron to death, but give me Bell all the way this year. Something just tells me it's his time. All right, feature time set to go. 30 laps around the port. Here is your RS and Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, it's Soupy, Dan McLaren in the number 88. Next to him, it's Brad Waite in the 814. Row number 2, it's Canada Connor Ross in the 35. Next to the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row number 3, the 217 of Gentleman Jack Rhett and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row 4, it's Gavin Chatham in car 99 next to Steven Stewart. He's in the 47. Rounding out the top 10, Tally Ulibarri in the 19, and next to him, Joe Backus in the 46. Row number 6, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and G.J. Boydell in the 014. Row number 7, Gary Offut in the 94, and the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747. The 8th row, the Mayor Steve Bixler in the 75, and Steve Maurer in the 888. Rounding out the field, it's JR, John Rayner in the 302, and Isaac Salas in car number 5. All righty, Zach, who are you picking to win tonight?
Oh, man. Tough one here. A lot of good guys, but I think, man. All right. I hate picking the guy on the pole, but I just think Dan McLaren's due, and he was really fast in warm-ups. I was trying to follow him test driving, and Lord knows I couldn't keep up with him. I think Dan's going to walk away. He looked like he was fast on the bottom, and that's where he's going to be.
All righty. We will see what he does tonight then.
But we do have to keep an eye on Gavin Chatham. That's who I was
Yes.
thinking with my gut. He's just back there a ways, and I don't know. It's going to be tough here, but if anybody can do it, Gavin can do it.
Alrighty, my pick to win tonight. You know what the heck, why not? Give me Connor Ross in the 35. We'll see if he can get it done. Alrighty, set to go with the Lucy Olson start. Our second race of the night. The first one for sprint cars of the Port Royal. Top 5. Move on to the Renegades pending IL. Dan McLaren, Brad Waite, bring us to green. Rebels, Port Royal, we're ready to get it on. Let's do it. McLaren has the lead entering turn number 3. Connor Ross looking underneath. He just moved up to second, past Brad Waite, and off the corner. Lap 1 is led by Soupy, Dan McLaren. You watch the race for third. Brandon Dittmer on the caution. Yellow flag, though, is out. Checking on who it is for. And it's for this man, Gary Offut, in the 94, who is around. And that GoPro ride will not be a hero tonight. He's trying to get it. I don't think he's got reverse on that ride. Contact off of Roger. Oh, my goodness, what a flip. And what a camera shot that was. That explains why he did not have reverse gear.
Yeah, I'm sure that had a little something to do with it.
Man, that is a heavy crash. And that's just hanging on for dear life. Luckily, everyone does have a quick repair off, but unfortunately needed to use a tow. Hopefully he can get back out there in time, ready for the green flag. So one lap complete in this one, though. And we have your leader early for Dan McLaren. All right, coming off for turn 2, ready for the restart with 2 laps complete. Dan McLaren and Connor Ross, row 1. Brad Waite, Brandon Dittmer, row 2. Jack Hitt, Jack Clevenger, row 3. Gavin Chatham, Steven Stewart, row 4. Talon Ulibarri and Joe Backus round out the top 10. Back to the green flag. And Dan McLaren got Connor Ross sleeping for sure. And Brandon Dittmer around the outside of Brad Waite for the 3rd position. Has it working. He may go for even more. For 2nd on Canada, Connor just has to try and secure it at the line. But the high side is the place to be. Patrick mentioned it in his post-race interview. It's like Daytona and Talladega or even like Bristol. And Dittmer's got it locked down right now.
Yeah, he really does. Nobody had speed like that up high in warm-ups. It really was a bottom track. I meant what I said. I thought Dan would be able to hold the bottom of the field down there. But Brandon, man, you can see.
Oh, he caught the wall, though. He may have lost his steering. That car was on rails, 1641. Now McLaren's got the memo. Dittmer giving the chrome horn off for turn 4 for a moment. And now McLaren knows it's time to switch up top.
Yeah, time to go up and protect, make Brandon be uncomfortable and try and throw a slider, but he's actually going to go down low. He's going to open it up for him.
Feels spread on the low side off at turn 4. That may cost him. New leader, Brandon Dittmer at Port Royal. He's trying to force him at the same time to catch the wall. Sparks flew from 1st. Sparks flew from 3rd from Connor Ross. Here comes Clevenger for a podium spot. McLaren, though, trying to fight it back. The only way he can fight back on the low line is if you throw a slide job there, Zach.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the same thing that we saw in the big block race. You can make the bottom work. You see, he doesn't lose a lot of time to Dittmer there in 1 and 2. But in 3 and 4, you just got to be up top. There's just not as much track left on the bottom of 3 and 4 as there's 1 and 2.
Let's go on board for a lap here with Connor Ross. We do have his onboard camera working finally. Look how much he's wheeling and dealing it off the corners. Now as he caught the wall, but I think he even gained some speed on McLaren for the 2nd spot there.
Yeah, if you hit it just right, it can help you pick up a little bit of speed, but you just got to make sure you don't get real sideways when you jerk it off the wall. Connor did a good job of that.
John Rayner has crashed. No caution. Connor Ross up in the wall. He hangs on to it back in 3rd. We show you the 5-lap average easily. Brandon Dittmer with notable gaps on everybody else. How
But
Connor Ross,
very smooth up top.
how Connor is hanging on to that outside with how many times he has sparked the wall, I don't know. And he may get 2nd trouble. John Rayner. Nope, never mind. It was Parmalee around as well as Joe Backus. Our 2nd yellow coming out here in this feature. You see Parmalee just got T-boned by the pace car too. Show you what happened. Not sure what position this was for. This was outside the top 10, I believe. Parmalee just caught Backus. Both of them simply went around. Let's go on board with Parmalee. lot of drivers coming in using that quick repair. Making some adjustments on the race car as well, I would assume. So right now, Brandon Dittmer, he's been the dominant car. He's been the fastest car. Is he using up his tires, though, is the question. Zach?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say? They were talking back and forth about Connor blinking. I got lost in the actual in-race game chat. I apologize for that, Marty.
Oh, good. Is he using up his tires, Brandon?
You would have to think so. I mean, Dan's definitely got much more right rear left, but at the same time, you know, you got to give it to Brandon and Connor, kind of the same. They throw it in there so hard. They do it so much more aggressively than Dan normally does, that this is just a track. If you have that mastered, it really, you know, it rewards that. And unless they put themselves into trouble, I just don't know if Dan's going to be able to do it now that we've moved to the top of the racetrack.
Well, we're going to watch this restart from the Chapman Racing drone as we come back to the green flag. Dittmer, McLaren, Ross, Clevenger, and Chatham, your top 5, and we're ready to come back to the green. McLaren goes underneath. Thought Fermoni was going to go for the slide job, but doesn't. Ross sparks off for 3, a little bit too high on corner exit. Could give Clevenger the opportunity to look for the bottom step of the podium. Won't be able to. Gavin Chatham, meanwhile, rounding out the top 5. Ross is going for second on Dan McLaren into 1 here. Oh, but man, Connor. Oh, he's got a problem. He's got a big problem. He's lost the steering. The right front's down. He's hanging on to it, though, but just hit the wall was on the wall for so long there, Zach. Lost so much time, down to 8th.
Yeah, Connor's a good kid, too. He knows he's not running points. He did a good job of not jerking that off the wall down in front of a bunch of fast cars. He took his medicine for his mistake, and now he's going to try to run it back down.
Clevenger for second on McLaren. Dead even at the line, way too close to call. That was even for one of our photo finish cameras we have set. Clevenger up to second. Let's go to another race that's happened on track. Stewart and Ross caution. G.J. Boydell. That's just into turn number 3.
And Dan was able to just edge Jack to the line, so Dan's going to get lucky and get that spot back.
What was the margin?
1/100th of a second. Sorry, I had to think about the estimates.
Boydell just got loose, clipped by Steven Bixler. What a save for the 75. That could have been a disastrous impact for the mayor. Let's get you on board here with Boydell. And Boydell never even hit anything. I don't even think that even scuffed the paint. That was just wheel-to-wheel contact. Checking out who's watching here tonight. Hello to Trevor Giroux, tuned in. Again, if you're watching, let us know who you're rooting for. All right, are we at 1 to green? Yes, we are. So we're just past the halfway mark. Take a look while we are at the 5-lap average once again. It's still Dittmer, but Clevenger slowly has been getting better and better. Not as good as Dittmer just yet, but it's just around his pace.
Yeah, and you got to think, too, that's with trying to pass Dan McLaren, too. So if he can clear him and start running, quote-unquote, practice laps, maybe he can have something for Brandon here.
Let's see what happens. Past the halfway mark, back to green. Good jump by Dittmer. McLaren hanging on to second as Clevenger got a little squirrely. This could help out Gavin Chatham for a podium spot, but Clevenger shuts the door. Ooh, Clevenger got to get on the binders there. Chatham for fourth, maybe. No, he's got to deal with Brad Waite, too, at the same time. This is a wild one for P2 here, Zach.
Yeah, wow, Dan lost 3 guys.
Bad
in
corner.
1 and 2.
Bad corner from the 88. 3 wide for third. Chatham to the podium. McLaren fighting back. Maybe a slide job? No, it's Chatham nearly biked it. Still trying to pull up side by side off the corner. Chatham just so much speed. Trouble, Connor Ross off for turn 4. Another car sideways. Steven Stewart, Talon Ulabari also involved. A 3-car accident. Now let's look as well, that 5-lap pace we were just mentioning. Did Clevenger get better? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Tough
just
break
not
for
passing
Canada.
The eye test right now. Brandon is very fast. You gotta think this is his race, barring a mistake.
Show you what happened to Connor. And just rim riding. And around it went. Steven Stewart, Isaac Salas with a lucky escape. DC Ulabari. Let's go on board with Connor. Tough break for sure. We'll go Steven Stewart. His perspective if he was right behind. Let's go Ulabari. Dodged one, couldn't dodge the other. Well, if you don't count Gary Offutt's flip he had on lap 1, this is the most violent crash we have had tonight, that's for sure. One lap to the green, and it will be just about a 10-lap shootout or so.
Yeah, getting the green flag here, we will have 10 laps. They just missed single file restarts by 1 lap, so
So this
have
will
an
be
exciting 10 laps here.
Yeah, so this will be our final double file restart of the night. Back to green. McLaren for a second. Clevenger caught the wall. Clevenger in the wall. McLaren into Clevenger. Big crash. Clevenger on his side. A bigger wreck behind them with Maurer.
Oh my God, and Clevenger got nailed again.
And McLaren found a way to keep it straight somehow. And so he'll retain second. But no, that's more damage. And now he just caught Chatham. The big one. We've been waiting for all night. It's finally broken out the port. And McLaren, you see the tires, how they're wedged a little bit to the right. That's some good suspension damage. Let's show you what happened on the replay. So Clevenger catches the wall. That was McLaren who then hits the 99. And that's when all hell broke loose. And look at Boydell, who caught like, wow, that's what you were referring to there. Gary Offutt T-boned him, and Clevenger did a bunny hop like it was Easter. On board the 78. Let's go, G.J. Boydell. This one's in the back. So First he gets punted from behind there. I think it had some netco to do with it. Yep, off of Steve Maurer. And then here's the incident. Gary Offit in the aftermath. So that's how Maurer got sideways off of Connor Ross. Nowhere to go. Offit was committed. The left front of Clevenger's wheel goes flying. Now, I'm not sure if McLaren is aware. And again, we are 1 to green, so this will be a single file restart. I'm going to pop this up here, show you. As the field comes down the back chute. Look at how the right sides look. That is notable. Steering damage. You see that right front? How it is compared to everyone else? That's not good. And I don't think McLaren knows it. So this could be interesting. 9 to go, and there you see Dittmer pulls away from McLaren. And of course, no damage on that 83 really does help.
Oh, contact.
And he is sideways off it too. Gavin Chatham, he's lost the front wing of that 99. Keep that in mind. And here comes Jack Hitt and Brad Wade. Remember, they're 1 and 2 in the points. Gentlemen, Jack Hitt goes 2 for 1. He's shopping at Kmart for second. And Chatham goes around. Brad Wade caught up in it. 5, 6 cars involved. 1 on its lid. It's Connor. That changes everything in the points. Jack Hitt will get a big lead for sure. And let's show you how all this began. Look at first off, look at the move from Jack Hitt. Gavin Chatham with no front wing. Ah, Wade just caught him. Just barely, and this is where everything breaks out. All those drivers are spinning out like there is oil on the racetrack. Let's go on board with Gavin Chatham. Look at all these other drivers making runs. Roger Craig, one of them. Was able to miss this one. And let's show you as well. Let's go Connor Ross. Trying everything to miss it, but just couldn't. Now we go Brad Wade. Are we 1 to green?
I believe we're getting the 1 to green this time by. They're just not putting it on the front strip.
Okay, we'll go 1 more then. Steve Maurer.
Yeah, lights just went off.
Alrighty. Why, this is going to be an interesting restart with Dittmer out in front. Jack Hitt second. Roger Craig started 14th. He's in third. That's your biggest mover of the race. McLaren fourth. Bixler fifth. Pair of Salty Dogs up in the top 5. And we'll have 7 to go to decide your winner. Brandon Dittmer's led just about every lap in this one, or if not the most laps. He started in 4th in this race. Bye-bye, Dittmer. McLaren looking low on Craig for 3rd. Here comes the mayor, Steve Bixon, with a run, and same with Joe Backus off for turn 2. Both of them passed McLaren for 4th and 5th, respectively. McLaren hanging on to that car for dear life.
Yeah, with that right front damage, he's very limited at what he can do. I'm impressed that he's still out there driving it.
I think Dittmer caught the wall off for 2. Here comes Jack Hitt for the race lead. Slide job, gentlemen. Jack trying to get it to the point. Dittmer counters it back. 5 to go at Port Royal. And Dittmer catches the wall again. He's got to be careful. He's had the best car all day. Now he's in trouble right now.
Yeah, Jack Hitt has come out of nowhere, and No, as much as drivers don't want to admit it, Brandon might feel the pressure a little bit here in that car so close behind him.
Business has just picked up too much gas for Brandon Dittmer. Bad exit. Jack Hitt nearly side by side with the 83 and the 3. And Hitt catches the wall off for 4, just what Dittmer needs. 3 to go. Dittmer is hanging on to that car for dear life. Now watch out. Roger Craig's been babying it. Could he have a chance at winning it? Possibly. We'll just have to see. There's 2 laps remaining, though, at the Speed Palace. And there is lap traffic ahead. That's Greg Parmalee. Leaders go by without a hitch. Jack Hitt, though, may have something. Dittmer got loose off for 2. Jack Hitt for the lead. Slide job head. Too high, baby, off for 4. Coming to the white flag with 1 lap to go. Dittmer hangs on for now. This is going to get tight. Dittmer or Hitt, make your bets now into turn 3. Dittmer plays defense with a slider. Is that going to do it off for 4? Dittmer too high. Contact. Head of the wall. Dittmer wins it. A pizza jug for sale just got richer.
I'm so happy for Brandon, but a piece of me was hoping Roger Craig snuck by there, Marty.
Give it up for the 360 Rebels tonight. That was a fun one at the end. Jack Hitt's going to finish second, and as he comes for the photo, he's going to come to the line topless. And Dittmer, yes, he just ballparked it in victory lane. Now I wonder what the next scheme's going to be next week. Ah, man. Let's watch the finish. Let's go to the aerial shot. As I thought this slide job was wrapped up. Hitt, though, no, Dittmer got too high, and Hitt tried to look low. If, I feel like, to me, as you see Jack just went up and over at the end, I feel like if Jack doesn't hit the back of Brandon Dittmer, in my opinion, I believe Jack Hitt wins this race.
Yeah, I agree. He had a big run. I liked the line that he took in 3 and 4. Didn't worry about going and trying to throw the slider. I mean, obviously, he had to do the opposite of Brandon, but I liked the run. He would have had a big run off exit, but just clipped the tail tank.
That was a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get you your results here. Again, Renegades coming up next. Dittmer, Hitt, Craig, Bixler, Chatham, your top 5. They are eligible to race pending IL. Backus, McLaren, Rayner, Stewart, Maurer round out the top 10. Nice recovery for Maurer tonight to finish in that 10th spot. Craig, by the way, your hard charger, being out Bixler for that. Here's 11th through 18th. 10 drivers all finishing on the lead lap in the end. All right, let's bring them in. And we'll begin with the Bassman, Roger Craig, our 3rd place finisher. Bassman, I saw you inside that car praying. Your iRacing character. I saw it praying. You were hoping for something to happen amongst that top 2.
And it did. It just did. It happened. Just
Wrong time.
Too late.
Oh man, what a car! You were able to be. This was a race of patience for you. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, usually guys get in here and say they had a rocket ship. I didn't have a rocket ship. I just had it was stable. Old guys like me need stability, and it was I was and the setup was coming in towards the end, so I wasn't losing ground, which I'm usually doing at the end. So it was it's unfortunate for a few guys there. I got in wrecks, but hey, some old guys girls get in that sometimes.
So were you actually gaining momentum on the top 2 at the end?
I wasn't gaining momentum on it, but I was keeping with it. But it was more importantly, I was getting distance on the people behind me. I think can't remember who it was behind me. McLaren. I think he had damage. So yeah, they're having trouble keeping up because I got damage. So it's just you keep at this long enough, once in a while you get a nugget there.
So we actually just pulled up the 5-lap average. You actually had at the end. You were actually just a little bit better than both Dittmer and Hitt, but Gavin Chatham was better at the end with the 5th place finish. So, what kind of bone is this tonight? Especially with the 3rd.
I think it's a silver. I think there's only 4 of us in the room. We have to be 5 to get a gold bone. Oh, but I got a podium. A podium also gets you a gold bone.
A podium
Yeah,
beats
podium
a
gets you
bone.
a gold bone. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's a gold bone night tonight. So it's the guys at the back are always having a big race back there. It's just as intense as the one guys at the front. So it's all good, man. Congrats to Ralph Dittmer, on winning this.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Well, my salty dogs. I got I don't know if I'd even be doing this if it was for salty dogs. We have so much fun, man. It's just they're a blast to be with. They're just great people. I've had the pleasure of meeting most of them, and I hope to meet the rest of them. And certainly my wife, who puts up with all the hours I put in on this thing. So that and of course you and the Shaggy's been putting on a good show there with Shaggy TV there. So a big shout out to him. He's just improved every race, and he's doing great. And I just appreciate everything you guys do, and all the sponsors. And all the guys in the league. I don't know if you saw the post in the lounge about Bill Calder and the wrap, but and then the trophy that Andy Patton made for me. The guys in this league are just phenomenal, and it is truly a good community league. So just thanks to everybody for making this community so great.
It really is a great community. Congratulations on a 3rd, and hey, you're in the Renegades race too. Good luck in that.
Well, not really, because I was eligible for Renegades and I chose to run in Rebels, and so I'm not eligible to transfer. So
okay.
It's all good though, man.
Yeah,
it's
all good and fun. Go celebrate with a beer or something.
Okay, man. And there's a new session going up for the Renegades. Give you a heads up right now.
Thanks for the heads up. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. All right.
Yep.
Roger Craig, our 3rd place finisher. Now we go to Jack Hitt, 2nd. Jack. Gotta be a bummer, man. Did you just have the move time too late? Jack, we can see you're talking, but we are not hearing any audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you.
Yeah, I don't think I expected to have quite the run I did, and should have come down a little bit earlier, but it's still a ton of fun, man. Great win there from Brandon, though.
How much fun were those final laps?
Ton of fun, man. Ton of fun. Just wish I could have stuck the slider better one time there and gotten in front of him, or maybe had a little longer green flag run sometime, but it was a good time, though.
Absolutely. Obviously, we saw what happened with Brad Waite, who is the guy that's chasing you in the points. Your 2nd place finish, I know he'll likely use that for a drop, but that's got to give you a big boost of momentum headed into these final few races we've got coming up.
Yeah, I didn't know Brad ended up in that. I heard something about somebody did something to somebody's Cheerios or something there, but that sucks. I don't want to have that happen to your competition, right? But could happen to anyone, I guess.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Shout-outs for you guys putting on the broadcast, everyone behind the scenes, making the league go round, everybody coming out, making such a great race for us, all the drivers, everybody watching, and shout-out to my wife, giving me time to do this every week.
All righty, we'll let you go. Great job. Congratulations, and best of luck in either the race coming up or next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All righty, your winner is Jack Hitt, and now we go to Victory Lane. Your winner, the Spider Monkey. That car is for sale, but it won't cost 83 cents, probably like $8,300. Spider Monkey, you did it. How's it feel?
Oh, man, it feels good to be back in the freaking Victory Lane on a Monday night. It's been a while.
Were there any nerves in those final few laps when your car was getting in the wall on occasion?
Oh, absolutely. There was nerves before I even started hitting the freaking wall.
Very excited. I can see that from you, or I can hear that from you, I should say. We can't see you. We miss you in the booth, though, that's for sure. So walk me through this setup. I did not expect to see a really fast hot rod from you. Just how is the car this good tonight?
Roger did a little reset of the track for qualifying, so that really made it kind of hammer down to the top side for the longest time. and my setup was just absolutely perfect for that top side, and it was wicked fast. It really started to go away once it really slicked off there towards the end after all the cautions, but otherwise it was a rocket ship. Just got to try to keep it off the wall.
Absolutely. Ah, man, how are we going to celebrate this one once you get done with the Renegades?
Unfortunately, there won't be a Renegades trip. I think I have a too high of an IL.
Alrighty,
But-
so where's the party gonna be at tonight? You going to Dingus to celebrate, or what's gonna happen?
Oh, there's no other place to celebrate than Dingus.
Invite us all. All the beers on you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You guys for the broadcast, Roger for Coast to Coast, Training Wheels Racing, all those guys over there. Who had my setup tonight? I think it was Speed Factory. Speed Factory for the setup. It was absolutely nailed. I think that's all I got.
Well, congratulations on this win, and you'll be able to profit now on that ride.
Hopefully.
Brandon Dittmer, your winner here tonight. We're very happy for you, man.
Thank you.
So Dittmer gets it done, and we are going to step aside and go to break. When we come back, Renegade action. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we were talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Sounds good.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we are getting set to go for Renegades coverage, brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Marty Sakala alongside Zach Chapman with you as we are getting set to go here. 21 cars ready to race here, and let's look at the standings here coming on in. Your key contenders right now, it's been Stephen Goulner leading the charge, 365 to 333 on Kyle Moonen. I know we're only 5 races into the season here, Zach, but could we be seeing a new champion? I shouldn't say a new champion, but a driver behind the streak of Patrick Spangler.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing against Patrick, but I mean, how hard is it to just dominate like he has? It wouldn't be surprising if a top dog like Goldner was able to come and kick him out of the doghouse for a little bit, but long way to go, and Patrick's really good here.
Absolutely. So qualifying A's underway. We'll watch the first driver on track. I believe that's Keith Jackson in the 113. We'll take a watch on. New scheme for Keith Jackson here this week. And it's Donovan Ross that's currently the quickest on track. Now it's Gavin Chatham at a 15.50. Zach Chapman to second quick. And now it's Jackson to second, as Chapman drops down to third. Spangler fourth, Donovan Ross is fifth. Stephen Goulner, new paint job off at turn number 4. Better lap for him. Where's he go? Fourth, 15.6. Here comes Tyler Wilson, also in a new paint scheme, off at turn 4. We're seeing new paint jobs everywhere. Here comes Tyler Wilson to the line, off the mark on lap 2. Kyle Moonen, 5th quickest. He comes to the stripe. 15.85 on lap number 2. Jack Cote, 7th. Here comes the 91, Kyle Sargent, coming to the checkered flag. 3rd quick for the 91. 15.55. That does it for qualifying. And we're ready to go for Heat 1. Your starting lineup looks like this. And Heat 1 brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler on pole position. Next to him, it's the 30 of Stephen Goulner. Row 2, the 113 of Keith Jackson. Next to the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Row 3, the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. The 34 of the captain, Gary Taylor. Rounding out the field, the 217 of Gentleman Jacket. Stacked Heat 1, Zach.
Yeah, this sounds like the top 5 in the feature, to be honest with you.
It really does. So, definitely keeping an eye out on this first team with the front row of cars. Again, Goldner leading Moonen in the points by 32. And then 62 on Tyler Wilson. And then, I think if I got my math here correctly, 73 on Patrick Spangler. Underway here for Heat 1, winner on pole. 8-lap heat race here, up from 6 from the previous 2. Goldner nearly ran out of room. He's looking for the lead on Patrick Spangler as the field 2 by 2. Spangler sends it in with a slide job to take the lead off at turn 4. Goldner with a run downstairs. Lap 1 led by the 39. Slide job maybe for Steven Goldner. 3 wide to 2. Yes, Goldner to the point. Spangler taps the wall. Here comes Channel for second, Zach Chapman.
Yeah, Goldner benefited at those 2 battling behind and be able to get a big gap. Now he should have this under control if he can run his line, but the Gavin Chatham doesn't think so. He's quick right now.
Spot good racing. Off at turn 2, Jackson looking for second on Patrick Spangler. See if he can get it off for 4. Let's see if Chatham works a different line on Steven to go for this race lead. What's it going to take here? Chatham the better car here by a 10th last time by Zach.
Yeah, it's almost going to take a mistake on Steven, though. Steven's running that defensive line, but now he runs right up against the wall in 1 and 2. I think Gavin's actually the preferred line in 1 and 2 right now, to tell you the truth.
They nearly touched down the back. You saw Spangler kiss the wall in the background. 3 to go in Heat 1. A lot of time here for Gavin Chapman to get this done. He's just got to search for his options and not make a mistake, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he's got
Oh, Gary Taylor! Wild ride for the captain and collects Jack Head, who barrel rolls. Into the infield from second to now turning into a quarter midget. And Gavin Chatham caught the wall, lost a lot of time. Here comes Jackson now for third. Slide job on Spangler. The 39 counters it back to take third. 1 to go in this heat. Jackson riding the wall in turn 2. Spangler kissed it. And now through 3 and 4, it's the Vanderbilt 30 of Steven Goldner. New sponsor on that ride. Actually, correction, that's the Velocity Race Designs ride with the new logo. Checkers are out as Goldner is on pole. Chatham second, Spangler third, Jackson fourth, Atkinson fifth, Taylor sixth, and Hitt seventh. So now we move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. And here's the starting lineup. The Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, starting on pole position. He's in car number 042. Next to him, it's the number 11 of the Goose, Chad Cote. Row 2, it's Shorty, John Short in the 51. Next to the Salesman, Blake Chapman in car 20. Row number 3, it's the Professor, John Hine in car 71. Next to Barry Goldner in the 36. Rounding out the field, it's the number 7 of Bob DeGood. I think the key driver to watch out here for closely, to me, it feels like he's been quiet lately. Either that or it's just because we didn't see a lot of him at speed weeks. But that's the Salesman, Blake Chapman, looking to make a statement here tonight.
Yeah, he has been quiet. I believe he missed a week or 2 as well before Speed Week. So it's been a while since we've talked to him about some Galen's popcorn, Marty.
That it has.
Man, I know driving around a track like this for 2 laps at this slow speed, it really builds the nerves, really sets up for a good turn 1 and 2. Everybody's right on the edge of their seat and they're ready to go.
For sure, absolutely does. Winner starts outside of the front row next to Stephen Gollner. I know Barry Gollner would love to do it. Maybe even Blake Chapman. We'll have to see. Green flag is out. Heat 2 underway. Wilson with the lead. Look at the salesman threading the needle 3 wide. That's dangerous to do at Port Royal. But Blake Chapman trying to make a statement. Go 2 for 1 on the opening lap. Off for 4. John Hine to the wall. Tyler Wilson leads lap 1 with Cote still in second. Cote with a run on Wilson for the lead, and Hine short racing for 4th. Here's the run for the Goose for the top spot, Zach.
Yeah, Cote's going to look here, but looks like he's going to get the door shot on him. Wilson's going to run that middle line. Meanwhile, Blake Chapman's running the high side in 3rd place, slowly running him down here. He wants those 2 in front of him to start racing each other.
Bad exit for Cote, allowing Chapman to try and reel him in. We've completed 3 laps. Quickest guy amongst the top 3 was Wilson. Now Cote hits the wall pretty good. Now he's hanging on to it. Chapman's got to run again. They're side by side down the back here, Zach.
Yeah, Blake with the fastest lap of the race last time around. He's really starting to get it tuned up on the outside as he passes for 2nd here.
1581 last lap for Blake Chapman. 3 to go in this heat race. Let's go to the race for 4th. Hine and Short have been going at it neck and tooth. Blake Chapman, quickest lap of this heat, 1576. He's got a chance for this heat win on Tyler Wilson.
Yeah, he needs everything to go perfect here in 1 and 2 to be able to even think about throwing a slider here on the last lap as we want to go.
Oh, but he caught the wall. That may cost him 2nd out of Cote. You know who's going to win it for 2nd. Off for 4, it's Blake Chapman on Cote. Short 4th, Hine 5th, Gollner 6th to good 7th. But it's Tyler Wilson, your heat winner. Now we move on to heat race number 3, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park. He was your winner 2 weeks ago at Lincoln. That's Steve-O. Donovan Ross in the 5. Next to him, it's Shaggy. Zach Chapman in the 72. Row 2, it's the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Next to Kyle Sargent in the 91. Row 3, the Bandybuilt Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49. Next to the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out this grid is the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. All right, Zach, we'll put you on mute. Best of luck. If there's a chance you can ask them, we could just go 1 to green this time. That would be great, too.
Yep, it's like you're a fortune teller, Marty. They literally just changed it.
Awesome. Perfect. All right, man. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, winner starts inside of row number 2. Who's it going to be and how is it going to be done? We're about to find out. Green flag set to fly here for Heat 3 underway. Ross comes out in front with the lead. Kyle Moonen second. Zach Chapman third. Kyle Sargent fourth. All single file. Devo leads the opening lap. Sargent looking for a runoff for 4. Won't get it just yet on Shaggy. Here come Jesse Bandy and Jeff Barker. Chapman loose off for 2. Sargent hits the wall. Sideways with Jeff Barker. Everybody hanging on for now. Bandy with a slider, and he has to let out of it, or else he would have rammed or sideswiped, I should say, Kyle Sargent big time. Race for the lead is on. Kyle Moonen against Donovan Ross on board the Money King. Three laps complete. Ross keeping it on the bottom of this race section. Oh, big ride! What a landing! Oh, he's out of it though. Tough break for Shaggy. Stand by. Gonna unmute you. I got so excited. I thought you were gonna keep that thing straight.
Yeah, no, right front was broke when I bounced off the wall. So if I wanted to keep her rolling and go into the pits, I could have, but smart thing, just go in there, toe out, and get out of the way of the fast guys.
Well, now you get to watch for a race with me for the lead. Ross against Moonen. Sargent, I don't think we'll be able to close in despite having the fastest lap of the race with a 15:69. 3 to go, coming to 2 to go in this heat. Look at the gap, though, between Ross and Moonen at the line. Moonen's trying to dive in this corner here, Zach. Is it going to work, though?
It's really tough right now. Up top's where you want to be, but he's definitely giving Devo his all here.
And you see Devo now playing defense. He ran the middle of the line, trying to prevent a slider. Great move from the number 5, and he's going to do that once again into 3 and 4. Does Moonen get a run? Moonen's got a run. Too much gas from Ross. Moonen takes the win. Steals one from the number 5. That's a feel-good win for the 24 there.
Yeah, and we saw that to end the feature in the B race. You know, it almost cost. Who was that?
That almost cost Dittmer.
Yeah, Dittmer on the win there. You're trying to run the bottom in 3 and 4. You can see getting defensive in 3 and 4 can really cost you speed on exit.
Let's step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's feature time here. Excuse me, it's feature time here at Port Royal. Stay with us. Warm-up's currently inside the final 30 seconds. Your quickest driver on track was Blake Chapman with a 16:27. It's now Gavin Chatham with a 16:25. We're having some technical difficulties here, folks, without graphics. We'll try and get these fixed up as soon as possible here. As the session is in the books. We're ready to do it. Let's meet the field for our 35-lap feature. Here is your starting lineup. Our graphics not working, so gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Steven Goldner on pole position in the number 30. Next to him, it's Tyler Wilson, the Macho Man, in the 42. Row number 2, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Next to Gavin Chatham in the 99. Row 3, Blake Chapman, the salesman, in car number 20. Next to Donovan Ross in the number 5. The next row behind them, Patrick Engler in the 39 and Chad Cote in the 11. Kyle Sargent in 9th. Next to him, Keith Jackson. That rounds out the top 10. Row 6, John Short in the 51. Jesse Vandy in the 49. Row 7, Jesse X in the 127 and John Hine in the 71. And in row 8, Jeff Barker in the 513 and Gary Taylor in the 34. Row 9, Barry Goldner in the 36 and Zach Chapman in the 72. Row number 10, Jack Hinn, the 217, and Bob DeGood in the 7. Roger Craig rounding out the field as he not racing with us in the Renegades, as he mentioned. Zach, best of luck, but real quick, who's your pick to win?
Oh, man. You know what? I think Kyle Moonen's going to get back on track. He was really fast in no warm-ups, and I think Kyle Moonen's going to win tonight.
All right. I'm going to go with the win tonight for... I'm going to go with Tyler Wilson. It seems like Vanderbilt's very good. Excuse me, Trainer Wheels Racing. It seems like they're very good on these longer tracks. But we will see what happens as we come to the green flag ready for the Lucy Olson start. Steve King Foundation pace truck on pit road. As we come to green, we say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? The Port Royal Speedway, the Speed Palace, Goldner and Wilson bring us to green. Showtime in Pennsylvania. A lot of cars sideways off in turn 2. Everybody hangs on to it. Wilson has the lead into turn number 3. Goldner tries the slide job. Gives Tyler Wilson the lane. 3 wide for third behind them. At the line for lap 1, I think it was Tyler Wilson over Goldner, but just barely. Goldner throwing another slide job. This time he's got the clearance on the 42 of Wilson. Here comes Chatham underneath. Blake Chapman shows him the elbow. First caution is out. No! Zach Chapman upside down. And this time he can actually use a quick repair. Replay at what happened. Barker caught him, and man, wild ride on that inside Jersey barrier. Another angle. So Chapman has it on pit road, set to bring it back out. And we'll be going double file next time by, but it's Steven Goldner who is your leader and selects the outside line. While we're at it, got a couple onboards here set for you tonight for our Renegades feature. Actually, we got 2 set. First one, the driver of the number 39. That is, of course, the high side banger Patrick Spangler. Rode on board with him back to the Open 358. Also have Jesse Atkinson, the Pink Panther, in the 127 with the ADRA camera. There's the onboarder Spangler. As we get set to come back to the green flag. Gollner has the right to fire first. Back to green we go. Gollner holds serve for now. Contact though between that Moon and Wilson. It is one up in the wall, further back, 3 wide for a position. Not a lot of lanes here. Traffic's all clogged up. Still 3 wide for third. Blake Chapman with the edge. Moon and I think slightly dropped out of it. And now Chatham going longer way around. Some contact with Moon in there as well. Here comes Jackson underneath, nearly 3 wide. That's the race for 4th position, I believe. And there's some more contact. Everybody's still keeping it straight. You watch, though, the race up front for the lead. It was Tyler Wilson and Stephen Gollner. Gap was a quarter of a second for just a moment. Now it's gone back to a half second. Blake Chapman, though, quickest driver on the track. 16:77 last time by. I think he's starting to save some tires early on. You see him rolling on the bottom in 3 and 4 that last time by. Now it's Gavin Chatham. 16:72. Race is on for 5th. Moonen and Jackson. Moonen, nice slide job on the 13. Here comes Spangler, who wants to get into the midst of things. Stephen Gollner now with the fastest lap, 16:65, half-second lead on Tyler Wilson, 42 in the slipstream, trying to put that gap down. Here comes, though, Blake Chapman. That low line is working well for him. We haven't seen a lot of drivers try the bottom of this track and make a pass work. But Wilson bobbled in the center of 1 and 2. And the Salesman's got the 2nd spot. 16:59, 1 on the low line, 1 on the top line. The gap, though, remains the same at just under a second between Gollner and Chapman. Take you on board for a lap here with Gavin Chatham. Top speed was 132. That will have to wait. Yellow is out for Jack Hitt. Get a replay of what happened. Somebody lost the front end. I don't know if Hitt ran over it or nope. There was a stack up. Chapman hit, and Cote sent him around. It's right on board here. Yeah, Hine and Chapman were checking up to avoid hitting Kyle Sargent. That's how that all broke out. So you see him in the pits, getting everything reset. Using that quick repair. So we did see Gollner and Chapman run some identical laps. Why don't we take a look at the 5-lap average and see who the better car is. Virtually identical, but I think the slight nod is going to Stephen Gollner, though. Biggest mover right now in this race so far is currently, man, that brought out the first caution, Zach Chapman, up to 12th after starting in 18th. Nice start to the recovery that he's been having. Double file restart. Stephen Gollner selects the outside. Him and Blake Chapman row 1. Gavin Chatham, Tyler Wilson row 2. Keith Jackson, Kyle Moon in row 3. Jesse Bandy, Patrick Spangler row 4. John Short, Donovan Ross round out the top 10. We'll have 10 laps complete in this one, with 25 laps remaining. Wild racing. Tyler Wilson crashed. Tyler Wilson crashed. He spun it around in turn 1. Oh, no. And I think Gavin Chatham may have also crashed. A pair of the front runners. What in the world happened here? They were both on row 2. Chatham catches the wall, and I think Evan Wilson just slightly touched. Wow. Huge air time for Wilson. Let's ride on board with Gavin Chatham. Yeah. No steering. And then finally Tyler Wilson. Heavy air time from the Macho Man. So this will put us to a single file restart. As we did not complete a green flag lap on that stint, we will still, though, take a lap off the counter. Well, we're ready. Here's your schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night is Mid-Atlantic Showdown Qualifier number 1 at South Boston Speedway. Wednesday night, Hometown Heroes at Cedar Lake, followed by pickup trucks at the LA Coliseum. Thursday night Thunder with the small big blocks and crate lights at Kokomo, followed by Xfinity at the Coliseum. Friday night, back at Kokomo for Friday Night Lights. And next week, Monday Night Madness stays in Pennsylvania with a trip to Williams Grove Speedway. Coming back to the green flag here. Three wide for second. Moonen thought for a moment about threading the needle. Has to back out of it. Here comes Blake Chapman for the lead again. He's been utilizing the low line, and it's worked pretty well for him. Oh, Gollner bobbled for just a moment. I think Chapman's going to let him have it for now, but they still remain. And a good race for the lead. Nice race for third, too, between Spangler and Moonen. 39 racing the podium. Jack Hedges dropped out of the ballpark. Back on board with the 39. Look how hard he's wheeling it at Port Royal. Chapman shuts the door on him. Crisscross from Spangler. What a slide job for the high side banger. But now Chapman counters it. Helps out Stephen Gollner pull away. Slide job from the salesman once again. And now it's Spangler, who had second after starting from 7th. Your biggest mover of the race, though, he's in 5th. That's the Vanderbilt master, Jesse Bandy. So 3 of your top 5 all on the Vanderbilt team. A little tidbit to keep that in mind. We're working lap number 17 here. Chapman got the wall for just a moment. Here comes Spangler for the lead. They have a run up high. Gollner shuts the door. Look at your 5-lap average. Spangler's got the advantage, and he's got the run. Slide job from the Spangler, but caught the wall. He had that worked out easily after a 16:51 lap. Now he's got to try and regain all that momentum back. Let's see if he can do so. Blake Chapman 3rd, Kyle Moonen still 4th. You go to the race for the 4th position, or rather 5th. That's Bandy and Jackson. Jackson with the lead. Oh, and a back out. Bandy slammed the door right in his face. Spangler even with the issues. Back down to 2/10. It's one driver slow. That's Bob DeGood. Leaders let him by. 16:47 last time by for the number 39. Everybody hanging on for dear life. Four-lap traffic approach, and that's Barry Goldner in the 36. Steven could possibly use that to his advantage off for 2. Spangler really sideways off the corner. He's hanging on to it for right now. 22 laps in the books. 13 laps to go. Let's go back to the race for 5th, Bandy and Jackson. So it's been a really good one to watch. Now we gotta go back to the lead. Spangler with a big run off for 2. Man, I wish we had the double box once again, but unfortunately we don't. From the back of Steven Goldner. And he is really wobbly. Caution. D good. Bandy's also involved. And he went upside down. Remember, Bandy was in that race for 5th. I'm not sure if he may have caught Bob D good or not. Oh, he got bumped by Keith Jackson. That's what some sideways. And man, a lot of airtime after hitting that opening. Saw John Hine gather a piece of that too, and same with another car. Let's go on board with Bandy. That's a tough break. Approaching Barry Goldner. There's the bump. It's getting rammed all around in there. So 12 laps to go. When we come back for the restart, and it's still Steven Goldner. We know, though, Patrick Spangler's got a great car. Let's go back and look at a 5-lap average again. And Spangler currently has the advantage if you're wondering what it looks like from his onboard. You can see the gears in his brain thinking what he's going to try and do here. This will be a double file restart too. Should be coming 1 to green this time by. Right now your biggest mover is John Hine, up 7 spots, and after starting 14th. All right, we're going to come back to green here. Be a wild one to the finish. Going to make their way into turn 1. Goldner holding serve for now. Kyle Moonen moved up to 2nd after Spangler had issues. Not too sure what happened. This may tell us the story right here. Spangler got a little bit low. And that allows a Vanderbilt 1-2. Blake Chapman now on the podium. We've got 6 laps of racing to go. Spangler trying everything to get 3rd on Blake Chapman. That low line's just given away. right now is just hanging on that high side. Unless you can get a slide job to work. Oh, Moonen caught the wall, though. A lot like the way Brandon Dittmer did, and we're under caution. Donovan Ross around to the 5. Don't know what. Oh, he just lost it. No, he was trying to bring it onto pit road because a car was approaching. That brought out the yellow flag. I don't think he intended to bring out the yellow. He was just trying to pull it on it and call it a night. Unfortunately, that happens, and again, not the yellow you want if you're Steven Goldner. So remember, this will be as well a single file restart. So Steven Goldner looking to put this one away. He's led this entire race after starting on pole. Would be his second win of the season, the first repeat winner on the year. Extend that points lead over Kyle Moonen. Blake Chapman still is looking for win 2 on the season. Patrick Spangler as well. Top 4 drivers all have won on the year. Only winner you're missing out in front was Donovan Ross after just pulling it in for the night. Four-lap shootout to determine the winner. And it's Goldner and Moonen, your top 2. They've got a nice gap on Blake Chapman. Field works their way into turn number 3. Blake Chapman looking for second around the outside. Moonen gives him the lane. 3 laps to go. Chapman and Spangler on the motocross bumps, hanging on for dear life, and they both take second and third. Spangler makes light contact with Moonen, who's up at the wall. Spangler tries to throw the slide job. They touch. And Chapman's off the pace. Moonen with a slide job for second. John Short up there looking for third. 2 laps to go. We're coming to the white flag this time by. Spangler for second on Moonen. He's got it. Off for turn number 4 they come. White flags in the air. 1 to go for Steven Goldner. Came in tonight with a 32-point lead. And now the Vanderbilt Racing Velocity Race Design number 30 off for turn number 4. Win 2 of the season to Steven Goldner. Spangler second, Moonen third, Chapman fourth, John Short fifth. Your biggest mover tonight up 9 spots. Zach Chapman in the number 72. The dominant car of the night won it without question. So we'll have to tell you your results as we wait for the top 3. Steven Goldner, the winner. Patrick Spangler, second. Kyle Moonen, third. Blake Chapman, fourth. John Short, fifth. Jesse Atkinson, sixth. Keith Jackson, seventh. John Hine, eighth. Zach Chapman, ninth. Jeff Barker, 10th. Tyler Wilson in 11th. Jesse Bandy, 12th. Barry Goldner, 13th. Gary Taylor, 14th. Bob DeGood, 15th. Donovan Ross in 16th. Chad Cote, 17th. Kyle Sargent, 18th. Gavin Chatham, 19th. And Jack Hitt rounded out the field. Just waiting for Kyle and Steven to join us in here while we're at it. Zach, thoughts on this race tonight?
Well, you know, sometimes you're the champ, sometimes you're the punching bag. Tonight I was the punching bag, I think, but I was able to recover, still get hard charger, I think you said, and all in all, it's just about those incident points, just trying to keep it clean. So not the night that I was looking for, but Port Royal is always a lot of fun, and there was a lot of good hard racing.
Absolutely, it was. So I think we are set to talk with your top. No sign of Kyle Moonen just yet. So we're going to begin and talk with that. Nope, we do have Moonen. Perfect. Let's talk with our third place finisher in Kyle Moonen. Kyle, walk us through your race tonight.
It was a rough one. I'm actually just happy I made it to the end. Seems like I hit the wall and was bouncing all over the place quite a bit there. So good points tonight.
Absolutely. Other than that, any other positive takeaways? I know, again, another team win for Bandy Belt. Off to a strong start. Haven't seen that in a while, obviously, in the past few seasons. And we've been talking about that lately. But other than that, positive takeaways? Any other than that?
Yeah, just another win from us. I think Goldner's gonna be the guy to beat this season, which he called it at the beginning of the season.
He did. He did.
We'll see how it goes and see if we can finish runner up, maybe at least. So,
who do you want to give shout outs to?
Just all the guys at Bandyville, Ross Krena, Velocity Race Design, you guys for the broadcast, and everyone that helps put on the league.
All righty, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Marty.
Kyle Moonen, our third place finisher. To second we go, and we'll talk it with Patrick Spangler. Patrick, you almost got Steven Goldner. What happened there on that restart?
The restart, I was stuck. On the when I was restarting second on the inside, I just I was stuck on the bottom, and they come off like rocket ships. It's from like lap 20 on. It was the top was just a rocket ship out there, and I couldn't get up, and I got stuck back and forth. And Moonen was struggling a little bit with that setup. I think he kept hanging it sideways there. So he was pulling Blake up there, and then things got crazy with like 2 to go. I got a good run after Blake got around him, so I tried the slider, and then I realized I may not have been able to clear him, so I tried to get on the brakes, but then I was already in his path, so apologize to Blake on that one. Just racing at Talladega, though, here. Just you have to get to the top and throw sliders to gain positions.
Did you feel like you had anything for Steven tonight?
I think if I could have started second on either of the last 2 restarts rather than starting fourth, I might have had something, because I was gaining on him in 3 and 4 on the top because he wasn't running the very top. 1 and 2, he's running like a slider line, but I think my car got better later on. But I just need to try and pull that slider in 3 and 4 instead of 1 and 2 like I did, because I cracked the wall pretty good after I slid him for the lead there.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Just you and Zach for the awesome broadcast. Roger on the league, Triangles Racing. Bad luck for Tyler tonight. And Dude XM Designs for the design here.
All righty. We'll let you go. Congratulations on a great run. We'll talk to you once again next week at your home track.
Thanks. I won't be there next week. Going to be in California, so.
Jealous.
Week off. Yeah. I don't know about jealous there. It's going to be the desert, but yeah. See you in 2 weeks, hopefully.
All right. Sounds good, man. Patrick Spangler, your second place finisher. Now we go to victory lane to talk with your winner. Steven Goldner in the number 30 gets it done tonight. Coast to coast, wire to wire, flag to flag, whatever it is, you got it done tonight. What a rocket ship you had.
Yeah, we definitely had a hot rod tonight. I gotta thank my team for giving me a great set tonight to lead all those laps. It was a lot of fun. This isn't really a track I'm particularly good at, so I'm happy to lead a bunch of laps and get the win tonight.
Was it surprising a little bit to not see too much chaos happen up in the front like we've normally seen in Renegades in the past, or like what we saw in the Rebels earlier tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this place is tough too. It gets rough. Fortunate tonight, actually, I wasn't too thrilled with how the track was kind of starting out, but it actually turned into a pretty decent track for racing wise. Usually this place gets pretty rough though, but tonight it wasn't too bad. I didn't venture too high tonight. I just kind of stayed middle kind of area just because that's where my car seemed like it was working the best. So, but I think the top was still pretty decent, so it wasn't too rough.
Another points paying win. Now you move on to Williams Grove. How are you feeling about that going on in?
Yeah, we'll have to put some laps in this week or this weekend. I don't remember the last time I raced there, to be honest with you. So we'll definitely have to put some laps in and try to get something figured out. I know my team will give me a good setup to try to contend for another win.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Ross Burnett, Velocity Race Designs, Pittsburgh Perfect Photography, Moon Racing Engines, all the guys at Banny Build. It was fun. We're missing Lacey again, but hopefully he'll be back soon. Dylan Westbrook Racing for the title sponsor for Renegades. You guys with broadcast, Roger and everyone with Coast to Coast Racing Leagues.
Congratulations on the win. First repeat winner in Renegades this season, and best of luck to you next week.
Thanks. Hopefully we're talking to you again.
Absolutely. Stevie Goldner, your winner here tonight. Another great night here at Port Royal. Final thoughts, Zach, before we sign off.
Yeah, a lot of good hard racing at a big, fast track. Cautions are going to happen. When people do quick lane changes or get loose, that's just the nature of the beast. It was a lot of good racing, and I really look forward to Lernerville next week.
Absolutely. Oh, no, Williams Grove.
Oh, William. Oh, okay. I thought when you said Patrick Spengler's hometown track, I thought that was Lernerville. Williams Grove's actually my track.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I was messing the people up, so. But anyway, that's going to do it here for us tonight. Thanks for joining us here again on this Monday night. We'll be back next week at 7 o'clock, same time, different track. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League and all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and his great group of admins, on behalf of Zach Chapman, Marty Sakala saying so long. Congratulations to your winners, Anthony Morano in Open 358, Brandon Dittmer in Rebels, and Stephen Goldner in Renegade. So long, everyone.